This video is not a packing list, but rather a discussion of things to consider before you're hitting the trails. While the unexpected can happen, preparation is essential for reducing the risk that something might go wrong when in the outdoors. Every trip, regardless the length, conditions or demand of the trip, requires a level of planning and preparation. I recommend to have a general planning template or checklist for your general hikes and adjust that list for the trips that are more involved due to the nature of the trip, specific conditions and technical aspects. If you travel interstate or overseas, make sure you have a valid passport, vaccinations, travel insurance, tickets and cash money in the correct currency. If your trip takes you to different countries, familiarize yourself with culture and religious differences to ensure you dress and act appropriately. There are very practical translation applications such as Google Translate that helps you to navigate in foreign languages. Visit websites of local authorities and organizations such as the DOC in New Zealand to obtain trail information. Another great source of actual information are hiking groups on social media. While we can't prepare for everything that could go wrong, assessment of risk scenarios should be part of your planning. Risk assessment is about understanding scenarios of what could go wrong and what to do when such risk scenario eventuates. However, for trips that have different conditions or expose you to specific and exceptional variables such as extreme climates, technical climbing, altitude, infections and viruses, crossing of land borders or visiting areas with political tension, lack of food and water and extreme remoteness, make sure you include such risks in your assessment. It is recommended to have an emergency plan. Inform relatives or friends about your trip. Share details such as the start locations, date and time, planned route, possibly including coordinates, campsites, landmarks, etc. The duration of the walks, maybe the duration of the walk for each day, as well as where you will finish. Let them know how you will be traveling and with whom, and also how you will contact them for a general check-in on what date and time, and what you want them to do in case your call is overdue. You should familiarize yourself with all equipment you are taking on your trip. If you're bringing technical gear such as ropes, crampons, harness, climbing gear, ice axes, etc., it's essential that you know how to use it. When crossing snow and ice fields, you should be familiar with techniques such as self-arrest, how to probe for crevasses and avalanche awareness. Make sure you know how to pitch your tent in adverse conditions such as heavy rain, wind and darkness. If you're using a GPS, you want to ensure your route is mapped on the map in a GPS. That map will provide important information such as a route profile, elevation gains and descents. You should assess if the route takes you through steep rocky terrain, snowfields, extreme dense bush, or if you have to cross rivers. Check also for possible emergency bivouacs. Are there caves or huts available along your route that you could use in case you have to set up camp early? Specifically for longer multi-day trips, you want to know the location of water sources such as creeks, rivers, tarns and lakes. Hiking is a demanding activity, specifically when you're carrying a heavy pack through rough terrain for multiple days. It goes without saying that a good basic fitness goes a long way in enjoying your adventure. While a good strength, agility, endurance and mental alertness are essential, there are specific factors that may affect your fitness, such as extreme or prolonged bad weather conditions such as cold, snow, rain, heat and wind can be demanding on your physical and mental fitness. Crossing rugged terrain, sandy deserts, snow and ice fields, river crossings or traversing dense bush are extremely demanding and taxing on your body. A heavier load will require better overall strength and stability. Pre-existing injuries, specifically on the lower extremities such as foot, ankle, knee and hip, can slow you down. Not allowing ample rest for longer and multi-day walks. can compromise morale and motivation. When traveling as a party, it is essential that the members are in agreement on the plan and support each other. When members of a party are in disagreement on the length or duration of the planned daily hikes, breaks and/or changes such as shortcuts, changing of route, or doing things that increases the risk profile, it may make some members uncomfortable and will lower the morale. When planning a trip, specifically as a group, it is important to know the limits of each party member. Limits such as fitness and what they are comfortable with of doing or not doing are important in order to set realistic and attainable goals. If you are going to carry an exceptional weight of gear, water and food, you could prepare yourself by carrying a heavy pack during shorter walks in the lead-up of the trip. Subsequently, you can incrementally increase the weight of the pack so that your body progressively adjusts to the stress and weight of carrying such a heavy pack. By doing so, you use your equipment to build up a functional fitness for hiking. I also recommend to work on your overall strength and fitness regularly, multiple days a week, and follow a training or workout plan. While gyms are perfect for training, I personally train mostly outdoors and in my garage. Complex compound exercises are ideal for conditioning your body. When on the trails, your body works as an integrated system. Multiple joints from ankles, knee, hip, back and shoulders should function in harmony. There are 5 core strength exercises that I would recommend to include in your training plan. That are the deadlift, squatting, either with a barbell, dumbbell or even with kettlebells, lunges, dips and pull-ups. For squatting and lunges, you also can use your backpack and load it up with some heavy weight. It is important to know what weather you can expect during your trip. Keep an eye on the long-term weather forecast as well as the typical weather for the time of year and for the area. Different environments may require different gear. Be mindful that the weather in the mountains can change drastically and rapidly. You need to be prepared for rain, snow and extreme cold conditions. River levels can increase within hours after heavy or prolonged rain. The steeper the mountains are, the faster river levels can increase. If your road takes you along rivers and creeks or requires river crossings, timing is essential. When water levels go up, you want to wait for a day or so for the water levels to go down before you attempt crossing the river. Warmer conditions in snow areas can change snow and ice conditions. Steep ice and snow fields in mountains are mostly traversed in early mornings when snow and ice are frozen and firm. Always be aware of the potential risk of a natural disaster, such as drought, floods and avalanches. Bushfires are common in large sections of Australia during the summer months. One should obtain information of the bushfire status if your trip takes you to remote Australia. You should familiarize yourself with the wildlife that inhabits the area that you will be hiking through. Trekking through remote wilderness where few hikers venture increases the possibility that you may encounter wildlife. Many animals feed during dawn and dusk, while others, such as snakes, are more active during the middle, warmer time of the day. While the preference for clothing is personal, clothes and gear should be fit for purpose, for its intended use and weather conditions. Equipment and clothing should meet the demands of the climate and conditions you will be facing during your adventures, as well as any activity other than walking. Clothing should protect you against sun, rain, snow, wind and cold, but also should be comfortable, non-restrictive and articulate with the movements of arms and legs. Layering your clothes helps controlling body heat. Avoid items made of cotton as a base layer. I prefer wool blends. Fleece, tights and down products make a good mid-layer for cold weather. And use a waterproof shell jacket and pants, preferably made out of Gore-Tex, as your wet weather layer. Ensure that your gear and clothes are suitable for its intended purpose. For instance, if your adventure includes mountain climbing, you may need technical alpine boots in addition to your hiking shoes. Alpine boots have a full or half shank designed for maximum stability, rigid support and to secure crampons. I recommend not to go cheap if it comes to the clothes and equipment. Buy the best clothing and equipment you can afford. In the outdoor sector, the more expensive brands do often provide better quality equipment and clothes that perform better, are more durable and reliable. Ultralight equipment has become extremely popular these days. Specifically tents, sleeping mats and backpacks. However, quality ultralight gear is quite expensive, while budget ultralight gear often underperforms. Be mindful that ultralight backpacks have a skinnier carrying harness with less padding. For some people, they can cause some discomfort, specifically during longer walks. In generally, I prefer large capacity backpacks between 70 and 90 liters. These packs have often a better, stronger and more comfortable harness and allow me to put all of my gear inside the pack. Footwear is arguably the most important gear that you will bring on a trip. Poorly fitting footwear can cause a lot of pain during walks, specifically multi-day walks. And from my own experience, I find it quite difficult to find shoes or boots that I can wear comfortably between 6 and 10 hours on a day. And for that reason, I would recommend to go to a shop and actually try out shoes and boots from different brands and different models to find out which boot or shoe has the best fit for you. On multi-day walks, I mostly bring a second pair of ultralight shoes. Specifically on hikes where I expect my feet to get wet because of rain or crossing creeks and rivers. Your pack should include a first aid kit that includes all the essentials for treating minor injuries, but also prescribed medication, medication to prevent or treat allergies, pain, inflammation, diarrhea, motion sickness, as well as water purification tablets. A water filter or water purification system is a must when sourcing drinkable water from water sources. There are different water filtration methods. Your filter should be appropriate for the conditions. The common backpacking filters primarily removes bacteria. Effective water purification for viruses requires specialized filters such as UV purifiers and chemical treatments. An important piece of gear is your shelter. There are different types such as bivy bags, tents, hammocks and tarps. Although I love using all of these types of shelters, lightweight self-standing tents are probably your best choice as your default shelter. Your shelter should be fit for purpose. If you expect potentially severe conditions such as strong winds, heavy snow or rain, your shelter should be able to cope. These days I prefer to use single pitch tents, allowing the inner tent and the fly to be pitch as one. While traditional topographic maps are still being used, GPS has become the norm for tracking progress, terrain profile, speed and distance. Since GPS devices and mobile phones or other wearables are battery powered, for longer trips you need to make sure that you have either spare batteries, a power bank or a small solar panel to recharge the device. If you're walking off track, it is important that you are able to know how to complete the route or to walk back to the start in the situation your electronic GPS device fails. A detailed topographic map and compass and know how to use them effectively can be used as a backup. A personal location beacon or PLB provides peace of mind that help can be notified in an emergency. It takes some experience to work out what food works for you and what you like to eat on the trails. Apart from providing energy and nutrition, food is also an important morale booster. As such, it is important to pack food that you are familiar with. Fresh vegetables, eggs and specifically meat left outdoors in ambient, unrefrigerated conditions generally goes off within hours. As such, fresh meat and eggs should only be considered when hiking in cold conditions and preferably consumed on the first day of your walk. If you hike in sub-zero conditions, fresh food can be kept much longer. I also recommend to bring food for one extra day in case you need to extend your hike to sit out bad weather. The amount of water you will take on your hike depends very much on the availability of water along your route. If water is plenty, 1 liter will be sufficient. Since water is a significant weight, you do not want to carry more than needed. Well, that's all I had to share in this video. I hope it was informative somewhat. Any questions, please drop me a comment and I will come back to you.